Hello guys, welcome back to another video here in Medellin, Colombia. Today we're doing one of our favorite things. We're going on a food tour.
And this is kind of a part 2 video because last year we were in Cartagena, Colombia. We tried some pretty amazing Colombian food, so we decided to do it again, but here in a different city. So last week we were exploring the El Poblado neighborhood of the city. It's more of the touristy, trendy area where now I think we're kind of still in the neighborhood, but it seems maybe to be a little bit more of the financial district with lots of hotels and casinos. And we did find a restaurant here that I'm pretty sure has a dish we want to try. So let's go.
So it turns out this place is in a mall.
Yeah, we didn't realize that. Kind of weird.
Had no idea, but I think it's going to be quite the experience. So we have made our way through the mall into a place called Hacienda. Now, yes, it is slightly touristy. We're in a touristy area. It's not a chain. There's a few locations here in Medellin, but I can tell you this, we are the only tourists here. The whole restaurant is filled with Colombian locals.
All right, guys, the food has arrived. We went for a traditional dish from this region. It's called Bandeja, Paisa. Hopefully I am pronouncing that somewhat correctly. It's a huge plate. I'm glad we only got one. I will go through what's on the plate. We have half an avocado, a couple different types of sausage. One thing I had read was sometimes there's blood sausage and sometimes there's chorizo, so that's probably both there. An egg, some rice, chicharron, which is pork rinds. There's a arepa, I believe, plantain, and beans. Starting off with the simple stuff, I got some rice, some yolk there from that egg, and some beans, just to give it a try. Very good, exactly what you'd expect. There's no surprises there. Nice hearty beans, the rice, I love that yolk on top, so good.
So I'm gonna try some of the meat here. I'm just gonna dip it in this gravy looking sauce. This looks good. Oh, wow, that sausage is delicious. It's full of spice. I can't put my finger on what the spices are just yet, but it's overpowering the meaty flavor of it all. It's a little tender, the skin is chewy. It's just so good, Anna, you're gonna like this one. All right, I'm gonna try the other sausage here. Now, I think this one is a blood sausage. I'm gonna dip it as well. Now, we've tried something like this in an Irish dish before, so we'll link it, so if you guys want to watch the video. But this looks good. It's very dark compared to the other one. Whoa. It's very different. It's really soft and creamy. It almost tastes like, I can taste almost like a dressing or a stuffing in there as well. It's not very meaty. So different than the other one. I love the contrast where the first one's like chewy, the skin's really crispy, full of spice. This one's creamy and just overall delicious.
So in our Colombian food video last time we tried juices, because there's juice, fresh juice I should say, everywhere here in Colombia. This time I went for sort of a juice. It's actually a lemonade, but it's made with coconut milk. Look how pretty it is, for one. And it's delicious. A little bit of a lemon flavor, but mainly coconutty, and it reminds me a lot of a pina colada, but like as a juice.
So now Anna's gonna try the avocado and some plantain.
I love plantain. It's one of my favorite things. I wish we could get it more at home. This one is like super caramelized. It's really, really soft. Totally delicious, and what I love in a plantain.
All right, the last thing on the plate here to try is some pork rind. I'm gonna try this one. It's very chewy. So to be honest, it's not my favorite thing on the plate. Whenever we get pork rinds, I just don't really like them. They're really salty, they're always dry. Now, I understand why it's on the plate because it's very different than everything else, but it's just my least favorite thing. If I had to pick a winner, it's that first sausage because that was delicious. So we're getting close to our next food stop, but we can't help but notice that we're getting a lot of strange looks in the city. And we're not sure if it's because of our new camera. It's pretty big and it's got a big microphone on it. Maybe people in Medellin aren't used to YouTubers, or if it's because we're wearing shorts.
And I had read that that tourists, you really stand out as a tourist if you're wearing shorts, because everyone wears pants here. And it's known as the city of eternal spring,
yes.
But it is 25 degrees this time of year. It gets cooler at night, but it's warm during the day. I don't want to wear pants.
We're wearing shorts.
We found the place we're looking for. I think it's a little smaller and a little bit more local, but it has this type of soup that we're looking for. It's in the name Ajiaco. Probably saying that totally wrong, really sorry, but it is a soup.
So this place is a lot more local than the last, as you can see. Now, so many of you guys have told us to try some soup here in Colombia. We get so many messages through our Instagram account. We'll make sure to link that if you guys want to go check us out there, because it's the easiest way to get in touch with us in the moment. But the soup today is going to be really good.
So the soup basically comes in two parts. We have the bowl here. It's got loads of chicken. There's potatoes. There is corn in there, and I think that's the main thing in there. Lots of seasoning. On the other side, on the sides, basically, we have, I think, sour cream or just cream, I'm not sure, capers, avocado, and an arepa, which is just like the local bread.
It looks very stew-like, like we said. I'm very curious how this is going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty hearty.
Very hearty. I would think of it maybe in the evening when it cools down here, it would be even better, because it's really hot out at the moment, as we said. So it's very hearty, it's thick, it's like a stew. You really notice those potatoes, it's nice and salty, there is some seasoning in there, but nothing too overwhelming. I'm definitely liking it. Yeah, it's good. I can't wait to try the other things.
All right, I'm gonna try this out. Now I'm gonna take some capers and add it in here, and then over this way there is some cream. I'm just gonna put it in there, and you guys can let me know if I'm doing this entirely wrong. So I'm gonna try to get a bite with all those yummy looking things. It's a big messy one. Oh yeah. I love this. It reminds me of Thanksgiving. So if you look at this and it looks like turkey dinner in a bowl, it is like turkey dinner in a bowl. I mean, that's the closest thing I can compare it to. It's very rich, very hearty, like Anna said. I really like it with the cream. Smooths it out a little, and the capers are nice and salty. So you guys have probably noticed this corn. It looks so good just dripping in that gravy sauce. Can't wait to try it. Oh. It's messy, it's hot, but it's really good. It's actually very sweet. I'm not quite used to this. When we get back home, we don't get corn this good. I absolutely love this dish. So far, this dish beats the last dish in our opinion.
Now that that's done, we're going to head back into El Poblado, which is that area that we showed you last week. If you haven't seen it, you should head back and watch it. But we are looking out for two more dishes. Hopefully we can find them. They're a little smaller than the last two.
Yeah, now guys, if you like this video so far and you're digging the food, make sure to go check out part one. Last year we were in Cartagena and we had entirely different dishes. So we'll link it up here if you want to check it out. But now we got to keep going.
All right, we have found another of our dishes. This one is a lot smaller, thankfully, than the last two. It's called Bunuelos. Again, apologies for the pronunciation. I'm sure I'm totally wrong. But it's basically like a small deep-fried piece of dough. I think it's made of salty flour and some sort of cheese, and then it's deep-fried, served warm. And I think I'm just going to go for it.
Now everybody has told us about these. Again, we've been getting messages, people have been saying, please try these. Ooh, wow, look at the inside, guys.
It's very comparable to a donut. However, not sweet at all. It's definitely salty. It's got a little bit of a cheese flavor, and it's like super crisp on the outside, and then like you can see, really doughy on the inside. It's a nice little treat, I like it.
So that was such a tasty little snack. We had to look it up a little more, and we found out that's very popular at Christmas, and I guess it's like a breakfast dish here in Colombia. But now we're right next door to another place. We're gonna go check if we can find the last thing. All right, we made it to our final stop of the day, and the next dish we're about to get, well, we heard you're supposed to get it from street vendors. It's the cheapest that way, and I think it's served the best that way, probably tastes the best. It might be just the area we're in. We couldn't find any street vendors today here in this area, but while we're waiting for the food, check out this cute little beer. We've been here now for 5 or 6 days, and we've not come across this. It's called Constantinita, and it's the smallest little beer I've ever seen.
This is called an Arepa Con Queso. So an arepa is basically like one of the main staples here in Colombia. It's basically like a piece of bread, but it's made from corn flour. If you did watch part 1 back in Cartagena that we did last year, we did have arepas there, but they were much more intricate. We had like chicken and a whole bunch of other things on top of it, more like a meal style. Here we've been finding them like as just basically as bread as part of your meal, but in this case it comes with it's cooked with cheese. Looks hot. It's good. Very salty, crispy on the outside, so you've got a bit of a crunch, and then it's like really cheesy and gooey in the middle. The cheese itself is pretty mild, but it's got almost like a goat cheese flavor to it or something like that.
All right, Anna sold me on the whole goat cheese, feta cheese, crispy, burnt crust. Sounds delightful. That's so decadent. It's so rich. It's so delicious. I feel like the meals today, they keep getting better as we go on. I realize this is a snack. I call this an appetizer, but this is my kind of appetizer. It is heavy though, so you wouldn't want to like eat too many of them, but man, this is so delicious. If you happen to get a chance to come to Colombia, I'm sure they're all over the country, try one of these. Alright guys, that was a very successful food day. I think it's safe to say that these kind of videos are our favorite to film.
Yeah, they're definitely great. Yeah.
One thing we can say about the food here is it's really heavy. I'd love to say I don't know how you eat it every day, but I know people wouldn't eat the same dishes we had today. We ate quite a bit for 2 people, right?
We did, and people often will comment on our food videos and say like, I don't know how you guys eat such heavy food all the time. We don't eat this all the time. We do our research in the places we're at, and we try to find the most typical dishes for the region, and that's well, you know, what we ate today was that.
Absolutely, and if you pay really close attention, you might notice we share all the dishes, just so we can keep going. But it was great. Overall, do you have a favorite?
Maybe the soup. I really liked it.
The soup was really good. I think I said that too. I liked it a lot. But that arepa at the end with the queso cheese was just delicious. That I could probably eat every day, but it wouldn't be very good for my waistline. So guys, now if you are new around here, I am Trevor, this is Anna, we are the Delightful Travelers. If you got this far in the video, probably means you like it. So we would love if you clicked on the like button, that little thumb, it really helps us out. And you might as well hit subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell, it will notify you when we put out new videos.
So last week we were exploring this area called El Poblado, showing you the sights and sort of what this area has to offer. Next week's going to be a little bit different. We often get asked what or how we travel as much as we do, how we afford to travel, that kind of thing. So we're gonna do something kind of about that, but base it around Medellin, the cost that it is, you know, like the cost to be here, and Airbnb, food, drinks, you know, that kind of thing.
We'll show you guys the cost because there are cities like Medellin and lots of other cities that are kind of digital nomad centric where it's very affordable to be here for a while. It's actually very affordable to get here as well. So we might try to put a video together to talk about all that just to show you guys how we do it.
All right guys, that's it.
From Medellin, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.